Y en el lado azul, el nuevo sheriff del abismo de los lamentos, venido de la GPL,
And 2 days ago, Doublelift didn't know who he was, but he definitely does now. It's We1less! Enough chit-chat. To the game.
I can't get enough of these intros, man. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
I'm just worried where it's going. At one point. So like they're
Where is the line?
We're done. We're out of intros. Where do we go next?
I guess maybe we'll find out. You know, still got another day and a half or so of 1v1s. So
I mean, luckily towards the end, it's going to be best of series, which requires only one intro for up to 3 games. So maybe they can really get some value from their script writing right there.
Yeah. Did they peak on day one? You know, that's the big question, right? Can you top the rat-a-tat-tat?
Yeah, if you walk into a crowd and you get cheered on, sometimes you use your best material far too quickly.
Yeah, there you go. Peak too soon, Krepo. Peak too soon. But we are going to be having another good matchup here. It's Levi and it's We1less. We1less obviously kind of put the smackdown on Doublelift. And
which was really satisfying to see.
Yeah, I think it was honestly, I didn't really think Doublelift had much of a chance in the Twitch versus LeBlanc matchup. So
I think he was in a good position. I think he would have won if he just kept it.
If he just went for CS?
Because I talked to him, he's like, yeah, I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to win on CS. I'm like, dude, you're playing 1v1 tournament. Just bloody win.
Yeah, because I don't think that you can win in the all-in in that situation.
No.
It's like, once LeBlanc hits the chain, it's pretty brutal.
Especially if you walk into a rush. Anyways, he's out of the tournament. Doesn't matter anymore. LeBlanc, Urgot, and Tom Kench banned on the left side. Draven, Caitlyn banned by We1less.
Yeah, so LeBlanc taking off table here for We1less. And Levi, we just saw him crushing on Lee Sin. That's going to be available. Maybe he could bait We1less into a Lee Sin 1v1.
Challenge him to a 1v1. That would be cool. He played a mean Kha'Zix as well in IWC8. I think it was in the Assassin mode where he had something like 17 kills.
Yeah, so you know, if you're thinking of the kind of some of those jungle champions and stuff, we could even see Rengar. We saw Rengar work out, but I think that was kind of one of those things where if you respect the Rengar, if you stay far enough away from the bush, it's a lot harder for him to win those all-ins, and it's...
Definitely agree. You can drop like 10 CS to him early, and it's still a Rengar. Like, all he has is a brush.
Yep.
Just stay away from it.
Stay to that right side of the map, pretend the left side doesn't exist.
Yep.
It's going to be A-okay.
Safety and relics. All right, time's ticking down again. These guys are not considering a 1v1. There's too little talking. I don't see them communicating too much right now.
Oh, they are. They both are talking between Brand and Lee Sin here, but
they're just waiting for the last moment to switch their picks, obviously.
Yeah, let's see if they do end up locking it. Okay. Lucian Varus.
The crowd goes mild.
The crowd goes mild. Yeah, I don't know. This is one where it's like seems pretty hard for Lucian to me.
It's really
that seems like really hard for Lucian because Lucian has lower range. He can get poked out. It's like, sure, if Lucian gets in on the Varus and is able to have some sort of an early all-in, great. But Varus can sit back. You can poke him out with the E early, the EQ early. Like, it's going to be very tough for Lucian, I think.
In a traditional meta, right, when we see bot lane 2v2s and we see a Varus lane, why don't we see it very often? Well, because it's low mobility.
Yeah, you can
get squashed by ganks or by like a melee support closing gap. Guess what? It's not here. Junglers or supports. It's 1v1. This guy has no weakness in terms of mobility. Lucian Q harass through the lane is dodgeable because it's shorter range. Varus can always land that E harass over time. If Lucian starts dodging with E, he again is capped in his mana pool, so it's incredibly hard for the Lucian. I think it's a matchup, honestly, where you may even run Cleanse, dodge out of the ulti at level 6, and you put a Culling in the face. I think that's the win condition for Lucian.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, Culling is not something that he's really going to be able to... He can't flash out of it. He can't really react to it very well. And if you do connect that full Culling, but it's actually interesting. They both swapped off of Ignite, so we're going to have Barrier, Exhaust for both players, which is kind of the more defensive route. And it could be something where Levi could kind of just sit back and try to just actually CS and say, hey, I'm actually just going to farm better than We1less, try to win it out like that. But it becomes tough because if you bring this to CS, We1less is going to be able to get some mana, he's going to be able to get some items, and he's going to be able to start trying to poke you out.
But I really like what We1less has done with his rune page. So he runs the traditional armor on his yellows versus an AD carry, but he's full mana regen on his glyphs. So that is 3.0 mana regen per 5 seconds that he's running. He's spec'd very heavily in attack speed, so all his quints are attack speed, which means he really wants to go for the triple stack proc and then proc away one of his abilities, then get some more and do it again, and really play around that percent damage. And he really understands that he doesn't need to kind of itemize or spec against the weaknesses generally, where you run maybe like CDR glyphs or you run magic resistance glyphs. Like, he's really built for this 1v1.
Yep. And I also think that having that 19% attack speed allows him to push that much easier. If he wants to push his opponent and harass him under turret, this is going to help him to do that. So both players have elected to start Q first. We are going to see that and just going to start kind of farming it out here. But I think the mana regen, once again, it's very intelligent. He doesn't want to get up in the face of the Lucian. He wants to sit back. He wants to be able to poke him out. And the only kind of risk there is if you get pushed in, you have to start CSing under turret. And just like that, you can fall behind. So We1less needs to make sure he's using his attack speed, keeping the wave at least more even, so he can be able to pick up more of this farm and kind of keep it more neutral. Yeah,
always be auto-attacking the minions, and when you harass with your spells, you want kind of double value. So you want to hit both the Lucian and the creeps, but that's why they start E as well, because if you use Q through an entire wave, one, it's hard to hit, and two, it's going to do much more diminished damage.
And you can see We1less is actually kind of scared of the Lucian dashing in, so he's sitting very far back. He's using his auto attack so much less. You can even just see, like, he was strafing back and forth with the 3 main range minions there, while Levi was pushing up, hitting his Q, using his passive on the minions, and he has been kind of in control of this wave.
Yeah, but Lucian spikes much earlier, much better early trader.
That level 2 power spike, Krepo. Tell me about it.
Was he backpedaling? We1less is this the equivalent of backpedaling what he was doing, canceling some autos?
Well, the E does not land there, and so far Levi's doing a really good job with the CS, and it would be interesting to see if he wants to go for something like, he has Warlords, I do believe, so if you pick up the Warlords, if you go something like a Vamp Scepter or whatever, and you just try to kind of push your opponent really, really quickly, and just kind of try to heal up and outlast him in that way and win on farm.
He is running armor on his glyphs, so he's not running the mana regen that We1less is. That's kind of the only difference in the build. Both are indeed running Warlords.
But he is running Perseverance as well as all of the HP regen talents. So he has the lifesteal talents, he has the flat regen talents, he's 12 into resolve. So this means he can kind of sit through a lot of the poke, and I think that stacking lifesteal with a build like this makes a lot of sense, because you can get that push, you can kind of tank through and hopefully just heal back up over and over. And I think it's a really smart strategy, actually.
He's also just playing it very well. Whenever there's a window for him to go aggressive, he does up into it. So he's not super tunnel vision focused on this push as a mild CS league. But as we'll see, as this matchup progresses, We1less, once he gets access to more spells, is going to be much more comfortable dealing immediately with these larger waves.
Yeah, but Levi is controlling the runes. He picks up both the runes, which is very big there, and he is going to be able to get an advantage from that.
But that's a mistake. We1less was playing on the left side for burst control, but at the same time, he could have easily been playing on the opposite side and gotten that relic right there. So that is We1less leaving an opportunity for Levi, and he is definitely punishing where he sees them fit. Right now, he's playing more in a defensive posture, but he's definitely on top of his game.
Yeah, certainly. And it kind of talks again about the fact that these guys practice these modes.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, this is going to be a slow push for his opponent, which is going to deny a lot of the minions there. So I think this is really smart. Most people would have tried to shove it in. I don't think they would have got it in time.
Yeah, I need to look at what the range creeps are doing. If you're wondering ever how a freeze becomes to be, it's basically because there is a slight advantage, especially in range creeps on the other side. Just look at them. They're all going to focus a creep. Melee creeps are really good at soaking up damage. It's the range creeps that you want to keep alive. And then when the next wave comes in, it just kind of stacks up and up and up.
And if you're asking yourself, hey, well, he's missing some minions, why did he do this? It's because the opponent has more minions that are going to kill off his minions. So even though he misses a couple CS, his opponent loses way more and must push forward into him and kind of in a more vulnerable spot. And I do like the purchase here. I think cloth armor is actually pretty smart.
Especially in AD carry matchups, because I feel like, as we see the relic being taken, really good punish by We1less.
But look how little damage that is.
Damage helps you part on your abilities and part on your auto attacks, but it's kind of scaling. But armor, I feel like it works against the base damage of abilities as well. Therefore, it's kind of more beneficial. It's more useful. It does kind of suck in all ins, but if you're playing CS game, armor is a good choice.
Yeah, it certainly is. And this is kind of my understanding of what Levi wants to do. That looks like a not so good trade, but he has more regen. He has more lifesteal. He has these defensive masteries, and his plan is, hey, yes, I lose that level trade. Oh, he has the culling. Is he going to go for it? Oh,
barrier, no exhaust.
Not quite enough.
Really well timed there. He went back, got the last CS ready. As he was dying, he walks up with the dying CS.
This is so smart.
And this is honestly super well played by Levi.
This is so smart. the cloth armor, the defensive masteries, the way he is playing this, he's now going to be able to deny minions. He's up 14 CS, gets a better buy. He's basically tanking his opponent to a victory.
Yeah, he's just like a pseudo bruiser, I think is the closest we could call it. I mean, he has 1 cloth armor. We're not going to call him a bruiser, but I definitely agree
2 cloth armors, Krepo.
2 cloth armors.
Yeah, what do you got to say now? He's practically Mundo with 6 items.
This is as close as we'll ever get to a Renekton again. But it is just so super efficient because like any physical damage that is already on the base damage of an ability now gets negated a bit better by the cloth armor. Obviously, there's Warlords, which rewards you on lower HP. I love that he's proactively sweeping every time. He can cancel the back, but instead he's just going for that freeze again, pulling the wave.
Yeah, and I think since the back has gone off, he's just trying to group the minions now, and he's going to be able to pull them all together. They group up. He actually puts the range minions behind the melees.
That's really important. He rearranges the wave in a sense. If you wonder if he's pulling the minions, why did he kill one then? Because he needs to stay sustained. A little bit of lifesteal here and there. Still, there's a massive advantage. If there's a 4-stack of range creeps at the back, and there's a cannon creep, you have control of where you want the wave to go. Now he can pull the wave to him again, and then when crawling is up again, go for the all-in with barrier on cooldown.
Exactly, and he's going to be able to pick up most of these CS, because he has a lot of AD. He has double Dorans, he has double Longsword. This is super free to last hit under the turret, and okay, he misses one, but still.
That, of course, Master Curse.
Still, I mean, he's up 10 CS, he's doing very well, and for We1less, he needs some lifesteal. He picks up the Vamp Scepter, but then it's like, well, you're not going to have enough mana. You're not going to be able to really do a huge amount of damage to poke this guy out. So where is your advantage? Where do you win here? And it starts to become a bit desperate for We1less.
Especially if you see that We1less opts in the same style with the Vamp Scepter.
Exactly. You're trying to do what your opponent is doing, but you're doing it worse.
From behind, and that's how you never win. So We1less needs to make a tactical shift and honestly go for open with an auto attack into Q. Try and outrange and go for the ulti, but there's really good side switch on Levi. Again, he dodges it, turns it to Culling. We1less right now tanking creeps. Exhaust is there too. Levi can dash again real soon, and that's it.
Oh, the exhaust. Oh, he canceled his auto. He had to back up there. He stuttered the auto because of the exhaust, the attack speed reduction. Levi would have had it, but don't fret too much. He's still up a lot of farm. He can push it in, and both players have the barrier, but that should have been game.
Yeah, that should have been game if he went slightly more optimal. He still has an entire barrier. He can definitely outplay this.
Look at his lifesteal. He's already back so much of this HP. He's being able to heal back up. He's being able to regen back up, and he can look to go aggressive on We1less if he sees the opportunity.
And the problem is We1less needs to get a couple auto attacks in before he uses abilities. Levi, the only way he loses this right now is if he gets sucked in and kind of greets for the last few CS.
Yeah, or if he can get baited into an all-in. Like, at this point, you don't even have to. You can use Cullings on the wave and stuff. He's 20 CS from victory. His opponent basically has to get almost 3 full waves advantage in farm. And at this point, Levi has the item advantage. He has kind of the CS advantage. If you keep your opponent in lane here, if you keep him stuck in this, then how do you lose?
I really like that he's trading just every time We1less uses either an E or a Q, it's being traded for the gap calls are on the side of Levi.
Yeah, very smart. He's going to miss that CS, unfortunately. That's a little bit unlucky, but should be able to... okay, well, that was a little bit careless. I mean, he should have at least got 2 of those.
I think he's trying to decide, like, am I getting baited into an all-in? What's the cooldown on Varus ultimate? Should I base? He's trying to run the numbers here. And We1less is taking advantage of that confusion. I think the best thing to do for Levi here is just base.
Yeah, part of the problem here is that because he's hesitating on what to do, now he's going to lose a lot of minions to the turret when he does base. And he is eventually going to kind of come to that conclusion where that's what he should do. But when you give up the minion advantage, when you give up the wave, then you're not auto-attacking, you're not using that lifesteal. And wow, look at this buy. He picks up a Warden's Mail as well as the Caulfield. So
super efficient.
Super efficient, super tanky. And because it was a cannon wave, he's actually not losing as many minions as he should have, right? The cannon tanks it up, allows you to get back there.
Because We1less also hesitated. He hesitated on the punish, and obviously it's really hard for him to like kind of tear through that entire wave because he's running so much attack speed and doesn't have that much raw AD to enhance his abilities.
He's 10 CS away. I don't think We1less could have even afforded to back here. He's going to get this full free wave, then he's 4 CS away, and Culling is up. He just has to
coming in.
He just has to cull the next wave. We1less must all in now. We1less has to all in pretty much immediately. And even still, Levi has his barrier, and he can just Culling the wave. I mean, what is We1less going to do?
90% over, but we have been wrong in the past. So We1less, I don't even know why he's going for CS.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter at this point.
needs to get out there and start fighting because the minion wave is coming.
Oh, no sweep. There is almost an exhaust. He really wants to get that exhaust up too. We1less pops the elixir. Levi can just let the minions do the talking for him. There's 12 CS away, and he... Okay, We1less, he wants to deny as much as he can. He's ready though.
I think the thing is, if We1less takes a full culling, then Levi can just win the all-in, but he just needs those minions. He's going to go for it.
Put a culling on a wave. 1 minion, 2, or one more. Levi's We1less blocking the culling. It's over.
Got it. And we talked about it. Is it mechanics or is it intelligence? And Levi, he outthought We1less. This was so smart. The crowd a little unhappy it's not a kill, but I got to give this guy credit. He
Screw the
outthought his
crowd.
opponent.
If you get to a CS victory by building efficiently, they can boo all they want. This was very well played by Levi, especially if you look at the early game. This guy was reacting well in every single scenario. He was dashing out of abilities, trading mana, playing very cost efficient. You know, the cloth armor, everybody's tunneling on damage all the time.
His masteries, his item build, his play, everything spoke about the planning that he had for this matchup. And Levi walks away with a very well-deserved win. And a guy like this, to me, is someone who's a threat to take the tournament, to take the 1v1s.
Yeah, the only issue I feel is if he reveals a style like this and he goes up against somebody like Uzi, kind of, you saw Levi hesitate, right? In certain scenarios of like, should I base, should I stay, should I go? Well, Uzi just, he doesn't even have to think anymore. That's like embedded in his like 80 carry DNA. And that's the problem I have. Also, if you're
just too good. Just like Uzi, same problem I have, you know, it's me and Uzi like this.
Just like that. What are you going to do? No, or if you face a Darius or an Olaf and he's actually unfamiliar with the matchup. So that is maybe something that can happen. However, we have our first 100 CS victory.
Yep.
And he still gets the applause that he deserves.
I
like that.
Definitely deserves it. And
because that's the suck. You watch Xpeke win a 1v1, the crowd goes like, Peke, Peke. You win, you take off your headset, and the first thing you hear is like, boo.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't feel too good, but...
No, definitely not. So we're honestly getting ready right now. Luckily, the next players should be ready. They're preparing in twos, so there's 2 booths on stage, or pods rather. One match is playing, the other guys are preparing. In a CS victory, they should be ready to get going quickly.
Yeah, I would think so. And then speaking of Uzi, he's going to be coming up next. So Uzi is going to be playing against Optimus next, and that should be one that is very exciting. Uzi, I think, is a player. You know, Mata was even talking about him in an interview yesterday, saying he's the best laning AD carry in the world, right? And AD carries are incredibly good in 1v1, and it's not just one. It's Caitlyn, it's Lucian we've now seen win, and it's Varus, right? There's a lot of them. And
it's honestly, the beauty for me about Uzi is not how good he is, but how early in his career he was just so good at that style where you weave in auto attacks in between pushing and then being able to last it. Because like a lot of AD carries kind of caught up to that style in Season 4 and 5, but he was doing that already from the get-go, already in auto space. All right, guys, that's enough talking about Uzi, though. We'll see him on stage soon. Let's keep the day rolling and send it back to Dash.